Hello, Anselm Griffin here, doing another YouTube tutorial in Matlab, and today we're looking at second order differential equations using the ODE method. On the left hand side we want to solve d2y dt squared plus 3dy dt plus 2y equals 0. Initial conditions are y0 is 1 and y derivative of 0 is 0. Time span is 0 to 1 in increments of 0.01. So, slightly different method from before. We're going to set up a column vector here. Z1, you could call it whatever you want. You see on the right hand side I'm going to call it P dot, but it doesn't matter. So Z is Z1 and Z2. Z1 is Y and Z2 is Y prime Y derivative. If we differentiate this column vector Z1, we get Z1 prime, which is Z1, differentiate that, Z1 prime, and differentiate Z2, we get Z2 prime. But Z2 prime is the differentiation of Y prime, which is Y double prime. So, to simplify, Z1 prime, Y prime, Y double prime, or d2y dt squared. What is these two values here? Well, if we look here in the function over here, y prime, I'll explain this one in a second, but this one is easier. Y double prime is z2 prime, which is minus 2y minus 3 dy dt. Okay, so and y prime is y2. So where is y2? So let's just go back to the little function here. Looking at here, y of 0 is 1. So y of 1 is 1. And y prime of 0 at time 0 is 0. So y1 is 1 and y2 is 0. So when we call the function here, we know t, that's 0 to 1 in steps of 0.01. Y has two values, y1 and y2. y2 is 0. Looking at this line here, minus 3 times y2. y2, because going back to here, it's dy dt, and dy dt is the second value of y, which is y2, minus 2y, and that's minus 2y of y1, the initial value. We go to here, excuse me about this. So, there we are, we've set up the two initial conditions. There's our time span. There's t and y. ODE45, func5 contains the column vector p dot 1 or z1 prime, whichever you have in yourself, the time span and y0. We do a plot, we do another plot, and we do a legend. Now, so this guy is the solution of the first one. What do I mean by the first one? Of this guy, of z1 prime or y prime. And this lad here is the solution of y double prime. So t would be 0, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0, 0.01, 0.02, 0.03, 0.04, 0.05, 0.06, 0.97, 0.98, 0.99, 1. Y now will have two columns. Why will it have two columns? Because you want to solve y prime and y double prime. So we're going to there's solution to y prime, there's the solution to y double prime. And just to remind you, colon means all the rows in column 1, all the rows in column 2. So we run this, and just a slight criticism of myself here, I have no X label or no Y label, but leaving that aside, and there's my solution. And I've plotted the two graphs on the one graph. And how did I do that? By saying hold on. So I did the first plot, hold on, keeps that figure locked down or tight, and then I do the second plot and I put in the legend. I should have put in the X label there for time and the Y label there for solution to Y and Y double prime. Okay, slightly difficult the first time, but I'm going to do another one to try and explain things. Thanks very much for listening.